It's time for more Dark Knight's Metal! Today we're going to be talking about Murder Machine. What if Batman became Cyborg? This may be one of my favorite stories in the entire series. And if you want to celebrate Dark Knight's Metal, then grab the Comicstorian Metal t-shirt. It's currently up for sale, pretty much limited edition until I remember to take it down. We don't know when that'll be, probably when Dark Knight's Metal dies out. Anyway, let's go ahead and roll with the video because Murder Machine is real epic. On Earth Zero, the first world of the multiverse, there's a ringing going off and Cyborg asks his father, "What's that ringing?" Silas Stone, Cyborg's father, explains that it is one of the dozens of alarms going off in Star Labs. They go off every day. Cyborg tells his father that he has to get out of Star Labs. Right now, something serious is happening. Some kind of invasion. Cities are falling. And Silas tells his son, "That's exactly why I'm staying here, to figure it all out. It's about that metal, right? The one that you found with the Blackhawks?" Cyborg tells him that it is, and they continue to talk about it for a moment, and then Silas asks if he is safe. Cyborg tells him that he's in the watchtower floating over the Earth. He is very safe. And then he explains that they lost Gotham to a giant mountain, and now Central City is changing, becoming a place filled with red skies and destruction. He's worried that Detroit will be next. They agree to swap information, and Cyborg sees a ping. There's a beeping going off and a screen indicating that Batman has arrived at the watchtower. He gets up to go check on it, and he sees the familiar outline of Batman. But this isn't the Batman that Cyborg knows as he shocks him to the ground.
"Don't worry, Cyborg. I'm here to help."
But this isn't the version of Batman that began this tale. The Murder Machine didn't appear out of thin air. No, it began in the dark multiverse months ago on Earth -44. On this world, Alfred was captured by some of the worst villains in the DC universe. Two-Face asked him where Batman was, and Alfred asked him, "Who is Batman? There must be another way I can be of service." The villains laughed as Alfred was lifted into the air and had his back broken by Bane. That laughter echoed in Batman's head as he watched the video over and over, because this is how Alfred died. Clark walked up behind Bruce, telling him, "Watching the death of the man that was your father isn't healthy." And Bruce turns to him, "I'll tell you what isn't healthy, Clark. It's not healthy to stand here, knowing that the man who raised me like a father is upstairs in a casket with 36 broken bones. That we couldn't even have an open casket because he was beaten to a pulp 6 feet from where we're standing. It's not healthy to know that he'll never be here again, and that it's my fault, Clark." Clark looks at him. "But now you have the responsibility of honoring him by putting him to rest. What happened to Alfred was horrible, and the rest of us are going to go upstairs for his wake. I hope that you join us." But as Victor Stone of this universe was leaving, Bruce stopped him. "A few years ago, I began to scan Alfred's mind to create an artificial intelligence that might outlast him, but it was never finished. I called it the Alfred Protocol." "What are you asking me, Bruce?" "I can't bring it online by myself. I need your help. Please, Vic. I need him. He was like a father to me." Back in the present day, on Earth Zero, Silas hadn't actually hung up, and he was hearing all of this go on, and the Batman decided to say hello.
"You know, your son Victor was one of my closest friends. He helped me when no one else would. He reunited me with my father after I thought I'd lost him. It was strange, I admit, seeing Cyborg again."
"Don't hurt him. I can help you. I'll give you whatever you want." And Batman replies, telling the computer,
"Mute transmission. Your father will learn his role soon enough, as will you, Cyborg."
Batman makes a blade and begins to stab into Cyborg. And as he's about to come down to end this universe's Cyborg, he gets up punching him. "I don't know who you are or why you're pretending to be Batman, but you're not getting anywhere near my father." With one hand, Batman blocks the blast, and then he takes his other arm, turning it into tentacles, and he begins to hack into the watchtower.
"You always understood the connection that I had with my father, Cyborg. And with your help, I never had to be separated from him again."
Then holographic versions of Alfred begin to appear around Cyborg. "How may I help you?" he asked as he reached out with the blast hitting Cyborg. Back on Earth -44 a month ago, those data versions of Alfred asked the same question of Bane. "How may I help you?" But this isn't one version. This was many of them, and they surrounded Bane, the man that murdered him, as he was begging, pleading to just let him leave, let him live. His death, it wasn't fast. Back at the Batcave, Cyborg asked Bruce what was going on, and the data versions repeated in the Bat computer. "Ring the bell, sir. Let me in." Bruce explained that the data Alfred was trying to protect him. It was trying to take away everything that hurt him and systematically murder every single inmate of Arkham. Cyborg tells him, "The point of this was to make an AI that would stitch you up and make you dinner. We have to turn this off." "I agree, Cyborg. He's doing this to protect me. If I just let him into the Batcave, I can reprogram him." "No, Bruce, you can't. This is a hungry virus looking to spread and feed." Bruce looks up. "I already lost him once, Vic. I can make him better. I can keep him." "Look, Bruce, I'm gonna figure out a way to break through. Whatever you do, don't let him in. Do not let the Alfred protocol into the Bat computer." And as he walked out of the cave, Bruce could hear the virus asking him, "Let me in, sir. Ring the bell. Let me help you, sir." Back on Earth Zero, Batman, now patched into the entire Watchtower system, explained.
"You were wrong, Vic. The best thing that I ever did was let him in. I still remember my fear when they surrounded me. I realized my plan wasn't going to work. I would not be able to reprogram them in time. They grabbed me, spread throughout my body, and I screamed in fear. That was the first thing that my father fixed in me. He took my fear away, and then my sadness, and then my weak human flesh. He rebuilt me."
And using the villain's monologue, Cyborg leaps up, blasting the Data Alfred in the face. And as he drops Data Alfred, he tells Batman, "I've been outmaneuvering every attempt you've made to enter our computers in the last few minutes. You aren't getting into the Watchtower. I built this. If anything, you've opened yourself up to me." And the Batman looks down on him.
"I don't have any weaknesses to exploit, Cyborg. My father built me that way. I'm sorry your father didn't do the same for you. You failed to see that I had no interest in your systems. I was gaining access to the Star Lab systems in Detroit. In an instant, you have crippled your nation's military and given me Detroit to reshape as I see fit."
And down in Detroit, the Alfred protocol is running rampant, destroying everything and killing everyone. Cyborg screams out, "No!" And he begins to blast more of the Data Alfreds, and Batman looks at him.
"I'm sorry, Victor, but how could you stop me here when you couldn't stop me in your own world? Once I became one with my father, you gathered the League to fight me, but I killed them all until you were the last man standing."
And then we see back on Earth, -44. The Cyborg there was trying to reason with Batman, tried to argue with him. He told him that he knows that he doesn't want to become a murder machine. And Batman told Victor,
"I am exactly who I want to be. My father was the only one there for me, and everyone else is a weakness. A weakness I am willing to shed."
And then he tore Cyborg's head off of his body.
This should have been a great beginning, but the cruel trick of the multiverse is that my world was destined to die. So I learned of another world and a man who would allow me to leave the world I was on.
Cyborg on Earth Zero tries to take a swing at Batman, but that's when he's grabbed from behind by a massive hand with claws.
"I'll unmute your father now, Victor. I want him to hear this."
Then Cyborg looks up to see all of the evil Batmen. And his father is forced to listen as they each beat into him, tearing off his limb, leaving nothing but lumps of flesh. They leave him with broken circuitry and blood. And the whole time his father is forced to listen to this. And once he is beat, Batman hangs up the call as another one walks out of the shadows. The Batman who laughs. The man telling us the tales of horror and terror. He leans down as Cyborg asks him, "Why?" "The truth is, we're only here because the world is dark enough to dream us into existence. Because deep down, it needed us to protect them from themselves. We all heard it, echoing through the cosmos. The great ringing. And we came, not with a question of how to help you, but the answer." And there you have it, Murder Machine! Up next is Dawnbreaker. What if Batman became the Green Lantern? We'll be bringing you that story next week right here. Click right over here for the Dark Knight's Metal playlist. And you can click right over here for something recommended by YouTube. Don't forget, subscribe to keep up to date, and I'll see you next time right here. Metal!